Europe has a total of 14 places available at the Women's World Championship 2021 in Spain. 4 teams will directly qualify for the World Championship, coming from the Euro, Norway, Denmark, December 2020. The remaining 10 places will be decided in the World Championship Qualification Europe, Phase 1 and Phase 2. 17 teams registered for Phase 1. That means we will have the qualification in Phase 1 with 2 groups of 4 teams and 3 groups of 3 teams. The winners, as well as the second-ranked teams, will qualify to the Phase 2, to the playoff matches, which will be played between 16 and 21st of April 2021, and will join the remaining 10 teams coming from the Euro, which are not directly qualified for the World Championship. The seeding to the pots is based on the women's national team ranking, which was valid for the Women's EHF Euro 2020. We have in pot 1 Austria, Belarus, Fyrom Macedonia, North Macedonia, Slovakia, Turkey. In pot 2 we have Iceland, Italy, Portugal, Switzerland and Ukraine. In pot 3 we have Faroe Island, Finland, Israel, Kosovo and Lithuania. And in pot 4 we have the 2 teams of Greece and Luxembourg. We will draw the teams from the bottom to the top, that means from row 4 to row 1, and from the left to right, from group 1 to group 5. Afterwards, we will draw the organizing right of the 5 tournaments, and then we can start the draw. And for the draw, I would highly invite the Chief Sport Officer of the EHF, Mr. Markus Glaser, and the EHF President, Mr. Michael Wiederer. As already mentioned, we start from the left to the right, and we start with row 4 and group 1 and group 2. The team which is drawn first goes automatically to group 1, and the other will follow. We can start.
The first team for today is Luxembourg.
Luxembourg goes to group 1, row 4.
And then it is the team of Greece.
Greece, group 2, row 4. Then we continue with pot 3 to row 3.
Israel.
Israel, group 1, row 3.
And Lithuania.
Lithuania, group 2, row 3.
The next team is Finland.
Finland to group 3, the first group of 3 teams, row 3.
And we continue with Kosovo.
Kosovo, group 4, row 3.
And the last team in row number 3 are the Faroe Islands.
Faroe Island, Group 5, Row 3. We can continue with pot 2 to row 2, starting with Group 1.
And here we have the first team of the Ukraine.
Ukraine, Group 1, Row 2.
Then it is Iceland.
Iceland goes to Group 2, Row 2.
Portugal.
Portugal to Group 3, Row 2.
Italy.
Italy to Group 4, Row 2.
And to finish, Switzerland.
And the last team of Switzerland goes to Group 5, Row 2. Now we continue with the heads of the groups, starting also with Group 1 and the first team.
The first team is Slovakia.
Slovakia completes Group 1, Row 1.
North Macedonia.
North Macedonia, Group 2, Row 1.
Turkey.
Turkey, Group 3, Row 1.
Austria.
Austria, Group 4, Row 1.
And finally, Belarus.
And Belarus, Group 5, Row 1. Before we are now coming to the draw of the organizing right, I would like to summarize the groups. We have the group of 4 with Group 1, Slovakia, Ukraine, Israel and Luxembourg. Group 2, North Macedonia, Iceland, Lithuania and Greece. Group 3, Turkey, Portugal and Finland. Group 4, Austria, Italy and Kosovo. And Group 5, Belarus, Switzerland and Faroe Island. We are now taking the last step of the draw for the Women's World Championship Qualification Europe Phase 1, and we are now going to draw the organizing right, depending on which row we will have the respective right. We can start.
So the first right to organize the groups goes to row 4. Row 4. The second right to organize the groups goes to the teams in row 1. Row 1. The third right to organize the groups goes to the teams in row 2. And finally, the last right goes to the remaining row, which is row number 3.
So, as a summary, Luxembourg and Greece have the first right to organize the 2 groups of 4. The second right will be with Slovakia, North Macedonia, Turkey, Austria, Belarus. The third right will go to row 2 with Ukraine, Iceland, Portugal, Italy and Switzerland. And the last organizing right, row 3, goes to Israel, Lithuania, Finland, Kosovo and Faroe. The tournaments will be played either in the period from 27 to 29 or from 4 to 6 of December this year. Thank you very much for attending the draw, for following us, and enjoy the summer and stay healthy. Thank you very much.